So I've gotten this question a few times, and the question is, can you do full-time reselling just with selling yard sale finds on eBay? That answer coming up. Hey, it's Shane, the Rising Grind Picker, and nice to see everyone today. And please drop a thumbs up on this video, and I do appreciate you. Welcome to my channel. I sell $300 to $500 a day in sales. If not more, that's just the average. And I also have almost 4,000 items in my eBay store. I started out in the corporate world, just like a lot of people, and decided this was more for me. This is my inventory room I'm currently standing in right now. You can see this is most of my eBay inventory. I have that room as well. But, yep, there's a lot of bins. And I've been actually doing this bin system for a long time. It works out really good. So when I first started out selling on eBay, I went to yard sales. I did a lot of different stuff. But when I first actually started making YouTube videos, I would get a lot of like, hey, can you do this full time selling yard sale stuff or going to yard sales? The answer is yes and no. For me, yard sales, I still love going to yard sales. I still love going garage sailing. But for me, it's not scalable. It wasn't scalable. So what I've been focusing on is a few different ways to source, actually. The thing I focus on is I want to, buy bin store stuff or go to the bins or, maybe simply go to some thrift stores. That's one way I currently source now. Another way to source that I prefer sourcing is like retail arbitrage and stuff like that. You can source a decent amount of stuff doing that, but anymore, I really don't prefer any of those, and I really haven't gone to a yard sale in over a year, and I am going to probably do some yard sales this summer. But the reason it wasn't scalable for me was I could never find enough at the yard sales. I could never find enough items to list because I'm actually listing right now 30 to 40 items a day. My goal is 100 plus a day next year. I'm hiring a full-time person, but there's no way I could source that much stuff. So with that being said, another way I source is actually ordering wholesale. I do order wholesale stuff, so I know what I'm listing. I buy out stores that are closing and a few other things. I do some liquidation, stuff like that. I want to be able to know, or I do go to auctions too. Like, auctions are a huge part of the business for me. And simply the reason that is I can go to an auction and fill up my entire van for less than $1,000 usually. I can order wholesale stuff and I can get pallets of merchandise sent to me. I don't even have to leave my house. And I do prefer that method, but I do a mixed method. I do 3 or 4 other, I source 3 or 4 different other ways. And I do thrift store still. I do the bins and, I order a little bit of wholesale, liquidation, and auctions. I rarely go to yard sales because yard sales for me, you do find a couple really good home runs. You find that stuff, but it takes you your Friday and Saturday, you're getting up early, you're going out, and you might find some good stuff. But the stuff I find in liquidation pallets and at the bins, I can find 8 times more stuff and still find the home runs doing all of that and not going to 30 or 50 or 100 yard sales in a weekend. So it frees my time up more and I can list more. I have right now 3,924 active items in my store. I'm rushing and doing my best to try to get to 10,000 items by next year. So by before the summer, I want to have 10,000 items in my store before, I would say, probably May. I want to shoot for 10,000 items. That's a long shot. But what I can tell you is, typically for me, yard sales, I find awesome items, usually for super cheap, but they're just not very plentiful. And some of I sell a lot of clothing, and a lot of shoes. So I can find good clothing at yard sales, but I have to go to a lot of yard sales. I mean, we're talking like when I first started reselling, I was doing a lot of yard sales and garage sales. And every weekend I would go out and probably do 30 to 40 yard sales. And I would only have about, maybe 5 or 6 little boxes full of stuff. And I would find the home run items, but I feel like I still do yard sales. I'm just very picky and I don't go as much as what I should. I really want to scale the business up a lot. So, I'm looking at having 10,000 plus items in my store. That's what I want. And scaling the business means like yard sales. It's really hard to do that with. It's just it's all a numbers game. Reselling is a complete numbers game. If I sold, 20 items at $20, that's a good amount of money. And yeah, if they're first class items, they're shipping for probably around $4 or an under, maybe $5.50, $6 at the most. And if you sell a $20 item and you only have a couple bucks into it, your profit is going to be an okay amount. Versus if you sold one item at $300, but you paid $100 for it, that's $200 profit minus the shipping. So you understand, like, it is a total numbers game. And you can do two things when you become an eBay seller. You can either A, do volume, or you can B, just do the high-end stuff where you're selling, 2 or 3 items a day, but you're selling them for $200 or $300 a piece. Or you can do the opposite and do volume. And I do volume because in my area, clothing is the easiest to find, but also yard sales just aren't that great. And I feel like they're okay everywhere else, but they're just not for me. I want to list a lot of stuff. That's why they're not for me, because it takes a lot of time. The reason I'm making this video is I'm not bashing yard sales. I'm not bashing the people who do them. I love going to yard sales. They are a excellent way to I think they're awesomely fun. But having a business, I can't rely on yard sales because they're not reliable and it's not scalable. But the one thing is that I see is like yard sale content is really hot on YouTube. It gets a lot of clicks. And sometimes it is just, you make a lot of money off YouTube videos like that. But for me, I'm in it for the business, and I'm in it for the business side of things. And I do love going to yard sales and I enjoy it. So I'll probably make some of content next year, but I just don't know if I'll have time to produce it all the time. You know what I mean? Hey, I appreciate it. And thanks for watching this quick video. And if you like this video, stay tuned. I am going to go back to producing daily content, but there was a lull where I just didn't produce any content. And so I do appreciate you for hanging in there, and stay tuned. And I'm going to be doing a lot of other videos and different videos and just all around different content on this channel. And down below in the comments, you tell me what your favorite videos are that I've done. You tell me that, and maybe I'll make more of those. Thanks, and I appreciate it.